Good evening. I'm saying that there's some impeding against this video making, but I'm going to go ahead and make this anyway. As I said minutes ago, there is a lot of intruding being focused at me, and it's kind of difficult to imagine if you don't hear it, but there really is a lot of powerful kind of corruption abuse that focuses at me constantly. And even though I never had any official position of power, they had somehow pivoted some very extraordinary events in space in ways that were meant kind of pivoted on myself. This can't be a fancy report. I'm not a professional about this. I'm going to have to just kind of you know proceed like this. Okay, now, like I said, last night was the first night that I discovered about the YouTube capability about uploading videos for public viewing, hopefully. According to my viewing count, there haven't been any viewings at all. But according to other indications, there has been some. Well, anyway, previously, I first learned that I had a webcam on my computer about 7 months ago. So I made a lot of other videos that I posted on Real Player Cloud. There were indications that others were seeing them. Then I find out that maybe nobody else is seeing them. So I emailed them to some authorities of press. There's some friendly commenting that that it hasn't been a waste of time, but there still isn't any actual reply or whatever. And then so last night I unexpectedly discovered about the YouTube function. Well, one of the serious subjects of the videos of the past few nights had been an alleged colliding the sun incident from January 5th of 1999. Now, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it was just said in the breaking and entering broadcasting at me again. An old man with homosexual-oriented slandering, breaking in with others, accosting at me and saying that he's tampering with my files, and the symptom probably is the garbled screen, and that he anticipated that I was going to speak of him and others having collided the sun at the world. Now that, like I said already, that sounds kind of crazy, but there had been an incident. But what we have to be, have to be mindful of, isn't it true that everybody is proceeding safely? That the sun is out in space and the Earth is where it is, and today has actually been kind of a comfortable day here in Sarasota, and I hope that is the case everywhere else also. But anyway, what is he speaking of about wanting to assert being of a colliding of the sun? Well, there was an incident that occurred back on January 5th of 1999, and what I had witnessed is as follows. I was homeless. I was forced to be homeless along Bee Ridge Road, a sometimes deafening, reverberating crescendo of broadcasting at me in traffic din and the sound of airliners flying over, etc. Okay, so on that particular afternoon, I was sitting on Village Plaza Shopping Center parking lot at the corner of Geneva Road and Bee Ridge. I had some extra money in my pocket. I was having to live all alone. I like to be reminded about the beauty of pretty ladies, so I decided that I was going to spend a little extra money and get a Playboy pictorial. So anyway, I decided to walk. I remembered that there was a store on Tuttle that featured pictorials, lingerie models. And so I walked Bee Ridge to Tuttle and went to the store named USA Mini Mart, and I bought the lingerie Playboy pictorial, and I secured it into my duffel bag, and then I walked back to the same place out of Village Plaza parking lot, and I sat on a curb. And anyway, so I sat facing the west, and the sun was setting in the western sky. And I don't know why it happened, but what it looked like to me was that the sun partly dimmed, and that it shifted position in an upward and to the right kind of north direction, about a distance equal to its diameter. And then what happened was within maybe a few seconds, a small round object looped around the left side of the sun and then crashed into the middle of it, into the lower middle of it. So what it looked like was, to me, instantaneously, just from the basic astronomy classes that I'd had, was it looked like well, whatever the nearest planet to the sun was collided into it somehow. Well, anyway, at the same time, the traffic broadcasting mania was continuing, and a usual young gay that was participating A usual young gay that was participating started screaming, "It's careening at us! It's careening at us!" Well, it looked like maybe the dimension of the sun looked like it was maybe somewhat closer, but not much. But I couldn't have verified that anyway. But anyway, after a few minutes, a young Publix employee was on his way to his car nearby and asked him what time it was, and he said it was minutes after 4 o'clock. So that's what the event was that the old man was mentioning again in his accosting assault and broadcasting confusion, that on January 5th of 1999 there was somehow a colliding incident involving the sun. I don't want to try to speculate. I can't. I'm not an expert about it, about all kinds of other ramifications there might be. But what we have to want to emphasize is that everyone was safe, that nobody was hurt, that I'm for the safety and the continuing security of our people here and elsewhere all around the world, for there being peace, for all the people being safe. And I really apologize that I didn't learn about this YouTube capability before. I don't know if it's doing me any good or causing me more difficulty. I can't be sure. But anyway, that was a subject of some other videos that I had made, and many reports. There have been many written reports, very neat and concise, that I presented to news agencies around the nation. They have their ways of being careful, and I really don't. Everything about me is betrayed, actually. The persons of the former stepfather and others, it's like anything's out the window instantaneously. So all I can do is work on matters kind of sketchy, and then proceed to whatever other subjects I want to work on, or what else is forced on me by the costing and traffic din, etc. But anyway, so the allegation is that on January 5th of 1990, an object, a round orb, a very small round orb, nearest to the sun, had collided into the sun. There are indications that there might be burning threat associated with the incident that hadn't been reported, or was first suppressed, that some persons involved with the incident decided to be more arrogant and resentful, and that they possibly pivot burning threat against our people on a resentment. I don't know about the details about that pertaining to that, but as I've said before, there is a danger that there are persons who like to very loudly announce their intents. When they say burning threats, they've said burning threats against myself, they say burning threat against our population generally, and they usually like to emphasize themselves being associated with the Vatican and former family, stepfather, and although they might partly be propagandas, they really like to emphasize it, and they like to even sometimes allege being Marines of pivoting on gay slanders against me that go way back to my childhood. And they like saying burning, they like saying flamethrower threats, and they like to threaten to barbecue people. And I'm only for our people remaining safe instead. And I'm for peace and security, and wish the traffic sound was only the sound of traffic. And again, I just hope everyone is having a good and safe night.